Two deuces. Making that mistake is recoverable, but slower, and there's no real point in not just resetting when it's literally the first like meaningful thing you do in the game after this menu. It's Rocco. Thanks, Box Tie. Still struggling a little bit to remember when the game will let me clear that tutorial box for the artifact. It'll come though. Alright, so this time stop mashing when Rachel shoots. That wasn't so hard. Thanks, Delicious. Thanks, Tim Lemur. Nice job with the commentary for the Questing for Glory race too. Definitely enjoyed listening to that. Thanks, Minnie. Yeah, I've been doing marathon commentary stuff for quite a while, and yeah, it's definitely something that takes a fair bit of practice and experience to get good at. Yeah, it was a really good race, really fun watch. Talking about the all storylines race of this game that was in Questing for Glory last week. Definitely recommend watching it if you didn't see it and like this game. Which I hope you do if you're watching me speedrun it. Hitboxes. Been a fair bit of practice time since the last time I streamed runs into the regular encounters, but I still definitely have some work to do on. Oh, Space Created. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since I last streamed. I took last weekend off because I was doing commentary for the Chrono Trigger run and Questing for Glory, which went very well. Feels good to be live again, that's for sure. Nice. Right. Well, AGDQ in January is still going to be online only. As of now, I am not running or commentating anything, but I will definitely be watching. Feel like I always have to kind of de-rust at the timing for doing attack cancels with the hammer for starting a new run, given how little of the run you actually use the hammer for. Why I'm choosing to run and play it? Well, kind of two reasons. One is that I played the HD remaster a couple months ago, and just like when I first played this original version of the game, I was a bit disappointed in the kind of the difficulty and challenge of the run. So I thought a speed run would be a great way to kind of force myself to learn a lot more about this game and challenge myself with it. And I'm also in a let's see, kind of in a position right now where I just don't really kind of have the time to do longer speed games. But the fact that all like major categories of this run are on the shorter side, like under 2.5 hours, it fits my desires pretty well right now. And it's also just an absolutely gorgeous looking and sounding game that I want to spread awareness of on the internet too. Thanks, Girly Chick. I do definitely recommend this game too. It's a very different kind of action RPG and Mana series game, but it's a lot of fun. It's a PS1 game originally, but if you want to play this game nowadays, I would recommend getting the HD remaster, which is on modern consoles and Steam. Main reason I'm speedrunning the original version of the game is that it's more convenient for me to capture retro stuff than HD stuff. And I also really like being able to use save states for practice. Thanks, Tempest. One of the things I've been doing lately too is kind of figuring out visual cues for some of the boss fights as far as how to time special attacks to hit bosses when they come out of iframes from their own special attacks, and that's something that's way, way, way easier to do when you can use save states than without. Hey, PX, evening Siri. Actually, yes. I've actually been playing it the past 2 days and having a lot of fun with it so far. Got up to Kefka at Narish earlier today. People that don't know what we're talking about, it's a fairly popular Japanese ROM hack for Final Fantasy VI that's been around for quite a while and just recently got an English translation patch. I like to compare it to like if Final Fantasy VI had a final mix, like most of the Kingdom Hearts games do, where there's like a version of the game that adds a lot of new content and increases the difficulty, but doesn't kind of really at heart change what the game is or what it feels like. Yeah, I haven't really seen much of the new content yet other than the music, but I've mostly just been enjoying the what they've done with the combat as far as making the regular encounters and the bosses a lot less free. But not really like in a unfairly difficult way. I was pleasantly surprised to actually hear some music from this game, Legend of Mana, in the FF6T edition hack too. The city of Nikeia has the music for the town of Domina in this game. Yeah, from what I've seen so far, it's not really screaming speedrun to me, because I mean, just because the combat's a lot harder, I can't imagine that getting through the game without some amount of leveling up is going to be doable. Next here. Like the wrong moment to look away from the TV. But yeah, needless to say, when I've been practicing the past 2 weeks, I have not been practicing this part very much, which is just about like 5 minutes of text mashing for the most part. Hey, Kansas City kid. Been struggling with this fight in practice, as far as actually just getting lined up with the enemies properly. Pretty much any fight that's in like a narrow diagonal hallway like that, I find pretty hard. Which is kind of interesting given that this quest only has one fight in it and no boss. The one fight is fairly challenging. Well, Tomato is best known for the Mother 3 fan translation that came out, I don't know, like 10 years or so ago now. I know he's done some other stuff too, but Mother 3 is what he's best known for by far. Hey, Corporate Image, thanks for the raid. Your stream went well. Probably gonna lose a little bit of time here because of that extra text, unless I really gained a lot on the fight. Like I did. Still some left on the table too for next time. Picking the wrong text option. Oh yeah, I've enjoyed reading Tomato's FF4 translation thing, although just the extremely slow pace that he updates it is a little annoying, to be honest. As in, like, literal years between updates to it sometimes. Hey, Greffrey, evening, sir. 18T Dynamite. Oh, there's many people that have done fan translations of retro games. Unfortunately, don't really know a lot of others like specifically by name. Because a lot of other like fan translations for like SNES era games weren't really done by one person. They were done by a group of people. Like Final Fantasy V comes to mind. Like that one was done by Miria-chan. Friend of mine, and but she only did the like hacking part of the translation. It was somebody else that actually like translated the Japanese to English, and then like I know like Seiken Densetsu 3, Live Alive, a lot of other games like this were done by like 3 or more people. Hey RPG Chick, good evening, man. Did yourself a nice weekend? I played Secret of Evermore a couple times as a kid. It's actually been a very long time since I played it. Haven't really like ever seriously considered speedrunning it, but who knows what the future holds. No, I'm not done with Mystic Quest. I'm just running this now. My times at both categories of Mystic Quest, at least that I care about, are certainly massively improvable. Just felt like moving on to something else, but yeah, I'll be back to Mystic Quest eventually. Come on. Status conditions in this game do not mess around, that's for sure. Okay, nice little double KO by the suplex monkey. There's more text there. Also, something I was disappointed about the FF6T edition hack, though, is that it looks like they made the Phantom Train immune to suplexes, which broke my heart. Yeah, this whole game's soundtrack is just banger after banger. This is one of the tracks where I like the original version better than the remastered version, too. Something about the instrument choice I like better here. I'm not planning to return to FF6 anytime soon, but never say never. More interested right now in returning to Final Fantasy IV. That's still not like going to be super soon. Yeah, I still need to actually sit down and watch a full run of FF4 Pixel Remaster. I've not actually that run yet, and I know it's very different from um, like any other version of the game. I'll probably run Legend 2 again. I didn't do that many runs of it before taking a I guess needing to take a break from streaming for a while last year. I was hoping to get a slightly better time, but maybe that'll happen someday. I will say though that of all of the Final Fantasy Legend games, that's the one I kind of feel like I just have the least to contribute to, because that's the Final Fantasy Legend 2 glitchless is extremely popular by retro RPG speedrun standards, and people that have way more knowledge and experience with the game than I do have put a lot of time into optimizing the routing and stuff for that run, so I don't really feel like I have a ton to contribute to it. But it's fun. It's a fun game, that's for sure. Oh, interesting. Yeah, like I know that the Pixel Remaster run like ends with kind of Kane being the star of the show. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, like I've seen some really wild-looking Japanese glitchless FF4 runs on the Super Famicom version where in order to not die, you have to be able to jump over Big Bangs with Kane. Hey, 916 Kev. Thank you. Definitely proud of that run. There are people liking the FF5 Pixel Remaster. I don't think that had come out yet the last time I streamed. I've seen some bits of Yagamoth playing that and causing some wacky glitches on the Neo X Death fight. I'm a little curious if they made FF5 kind of easier like they did with 4. Because I know in 4 they halved the experience requirements for each level up. Kind of curious if they did anything similar with 5. Okay, that's interesting too, because casually I think 5 is a harder game than 4. I mean, if you know what job combinations and abilities and stuff are overpowered, then it's easier, but casually, if you're playing it blind, I think 5 is a harder game, especially the end game. Like, I think Neo X Death, at least blind, is one of the hardest final bosses in the series. Curious about 6 too, just because I think 6 is the easiest of the 3 casually. Yeah. Hopefully it's not super long before they release FF6 PR. I very much need that soundtrack remaster in my life. On my wiggle running, but not bonking into enemies is still taking, or not bonking into like corners and stuff is taking some work. Yeah, I know that Nobuo Uematsu was like supervising the soundtrack remasters for the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster games. It's like Yoko Shimomura supervised the work on the Legend of Mana HD remaster soundtrack. It definitely shows in the final product. No, it's a little faster to jump cancel this guy, but every time I've tried it, I've kind of lost control of him and ended up having a slower fight. So I'm just sticking to power cancels, except for the last hit. I'm actually playing the FF6T edition casually right now. I'm not planning to stream it, at least like the main game. Although when I get to like the post-game exclusive stuff, I might stream some of that. For the regular game, I'd like to just take my time and kind of go slowly and do things in the game that I haven't done since I was a kid, like steal the green armor in South Figaro and lock scenario. That's something I have not done in a very, very long time. Right, nice to see my combat practice has been paying off here. The biggest thing I've been working on the 2 weeks since last streaming is just practicing the regular encounters. You can stun lock bosses in this game actually fairly easily, just with their rhythm, with normal attacks. The thing I'm doing here with canceling the recovery animation for power attacks is a bit harder. Takes some practice, but you know, casually at least, if you just do regular attacks and let go and not mash it, basically, so that you're only doing the first hit of the combo, that's way, way easier. Something I went out of my way not to do when I was playing the HD remaster too, because I wanted to try to make the combat a bit more interesting. One of the reasons I got interested in speedrunning this game too was just to kind of make myself learn more advanced stuff about the battle system and challenge myself with it in interesting ways. It's like Several of the like attacks that you do in the speedrun that are super important I didn't even know existed playing the game casually too, like the spin attack. Or that you can do certain special attacks with D-pad inputs too, like the lunge attack with the uppercut. Yeah, just finding visual cues for where to stand to do spin attacks while I'm not in the dizzy range has been kind of challenging, but I'm getting a little better at it. Thing I'm still kind of wrestling with a little bit is how to not do the uppercut after moving, assuming I don't actually want to do it. I don't know if there's like a good way to cancel that, or if you just have to let go of all directional buttons before attacking if you don't want to uppercut. Yeah, this boss track is criminally underused, that's for sure. Like, I don't even remember where else in the game this boss track gets used at all. Using D-pad at the end of movement. So assuming I'm using the analog stick to move, just let go of it and use the D-pad to do whatever I'm doing before I attack. Or do you, oh, you mean, okay, like left and right? D-pads, because the down is the last input for the uppercut. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. In a longer speedrun of this game, like all stories... Oh, no, I do want to go in here. In a longer run, you would want to craft a god weapon, but in a single storyline run like this, it's not worth it. The crafting does have a somewhat significant time investment, both getting the materials that you need and then activating the forge and then building the weapon. And in a single storyline run, there isn't enough combat for you to get that time back. But if you're doing a longer category, then there is. And you get and then you get to build the killer croquet mallet, as I like to call it, the weapon that's used in longer runs. So I've come to despise this next boss even more after doing tons of practice, because even though I have what I think are decent visual cues now for reacting to his special techniques, some of them I'm still struggling a little bit with just recognizing really quickly which one he's about to do. And the fact that he can do it before you have your own ST ready to go is annoying too, because there's no dungeon leading up to it. Yeah, at this point, I think I want to try all 3 categories. Based on what I know about them, I expect this one to be my favorite, but I'd like to try all 3 of them. What's this about a new route for Dragon? Okay, it's still based on weapon drops. Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds like just because of how the quest triggers pan out, there's not really any way out of that. But yeah, I'll definitely try it. Could maybe consider doing Jumi runs as a way of getting ready for the anime whenever that comes out. Also, this is what I very much don't want to see as far as Spriggan doing this before I can do my own ST to catch him when I can. Ah, he's got like 1 HP left. We'll kill him in style at least. that was just mean. At least I got to practice my ST timing, because when he does that one I think is the easiest one to deal with, because he always moves to the side of the screen, and my cue is when he puts his hands on the ground I do it, and then get him right when he comes out of iframes. I derped the story triggers a little bit here. Okay. Against these splits, my biggest time savings is mind your own business, because I went the wrong way at one point in mines there. Probably lost about a minute or so in total from that. So what pet does the new dragon route use? Like, the pet I used for most of the game when I played the remaster was the Chopin Hood, which I just remember finding in the jungle. For the Tomato Man. Like tomatoes. My new cue for this fight is to stand on that leaf on the ground and line up the spin attacks that way. The only Shining game I've played is Shining Force 2. Ah, come on. What I get for playing FF6 T Edition earlier today instead of warming up. Hey, D7, are you playing T Edition too? I started it yesterday and it's been a blast so far. Tried to figure out how to get the MSU patch working with it too. Because some of the custom music doesn't really sound the greatest as is, but I mean I know the reason for that is because the T Edition was optimized for running on an older emulator, actual hardware. Yeah, Mishrak, it's really nice. I've been liking the difficulty too. Because, like I was saying earlier, it reminds me a lot of the Final Mix remakes of the Kingdom Hearts series, where it adds a bunch of new content and some higher difficulty option. Although it's not an option with the T Edition, it's just a harder game, but it still feels like FF6 at heart. I stopped after Kefka at Narish earlier today, and that fight was quite the struggle. Come on. I wouldn't say all of them are more difficult. Like, the only boss I fought so far that I would actually say was hard was Kefka at Narish. The Phantom Train was a little touch and go sometimes, but I chose not to cheese it with the Phoenix down. Kefka at Narish it has a just completely different AI, and he's a lot faster and some nastier attacks than in vanilla FF6. I don't really want to say like too much because people are concerned about spoilers or anything, but his AI and moveset and stats were redone just to make it a harder fight. That's true for a lot of the regular encounters in the game too, not just the bosses. Yeah, Big Dog. I would say Octopath Traveler is a very good comparison to how this game is structured, because it's kind of less about a really sprawling main storyline and kind of more about short stories and side quests that kind of come together, but the way they come together isn't really the kind of where the meat of the game is, if that makes sense. For the Kefka and Narsh fight, I would say it was kind of less that what attacks he could do were worse, and more that what he could do, that he just used them faster and in ways that were more difficult to kind of easily remedy. Being very intentionally vague, because I don't want to like say specifically what my strategy was or anything. Anybody doesn't want to be spoiled. Hey, Rudder Storm, evening, Siri. Yeah, doing pretty good. There's definitely still some time to save on that gold since Organai got away from me. It's a fairly straightforward fight, but it's one that I need more console-specific practice on. Just because the rhythm for how to do the two-hit short combos to keep him locked down is pretty sensitive depending on how much input lag you have. What every Dragon Quest III speedrunner does, go back to the waterfall. Oh yeah, this game is really, I mean, I wouldn't really say like hard without a guide, but it's easy to get lost and stuck on a lot of the quests, that's for sure. That's something that I was kind of disappointed in about the HD remaster too, that it didn't do more to guide the player along if they want more guidance. Because like the way I would envision doing it is like having like a book or an NPC at your house that you can check in with if you want hints on just what to do next to advance whatever quests you have active at the time. Or like just better resources for like the crafting and pet systems. Because generally when you have systems that have that much kind of have depth to them that isn't really explained that well in the game, assuming they're optional, that just often results in players just pretending that they don't exist and moving on. Probably the number one thing that I personally would have liked to have seen the remaster add to the game is a higher difficulty option that doesn't require New Game Plus. This game has Nightmare and no future difficulties, but they're New Game Plus only. Oh yeah, yeah. The golem system I've just totally forgotten exists because I've just never touched it because of never feeling any desire to actually like try to understand how it works. The magic system in this game is kind of unfortunate too. Which is unfortunate because a lot of the animations for spells are pretty cool. Oh, the strategy guide didn't have much about the crafting either. It's mindless mashing. Much better yak fight. Yeah, like I've heard tales of weapons being forged that can one-shot the final boss on no future difficulty. So I mean, I know the sky's the limit. I think as far as just how strong you can make your weapons. Oh yeah, for sure. And I always appreciate that too when companies that have long-running franchises take the risk of trying something different. You have to talk to the sparkle. Activate the ow. Oh, come on, you jerk. I feel like I got the full stun time out of. Okay, not terrible. Like I derped a little bit at the end with kind of losing control of the stun lock, but I'll take that. Even if it was a big meanie and did an ST when there wasn't anything I can do about it. So far I've been finding Boreal Hound to be easier than Spriggan, at least to get a decently fast kill on. I think largely because you start the fight with an ST ready, unlike Spriggan, and at least a decent Boreal Hound fight, it should only get 2 STs that you need to react to, because I don't think you should ever see the like the triple dash across the screen move unless it's at lower health. Because yeah, that lightning attack is awful, but as long as I use my cutting bamboo attack right when it awoos, fairly consistent at least. Nice gold here. That gold's probably mostly just from the regular encounters. Alright, so this split I've got a minute to save on just from not making a wrong turn. How is this game beatable in 2 hours? Because you don't really have to do a lot of the game in order to beat it. There's the 2 prerequisites to be able to activate the final quests and beat the game are to place 18 artifacts on the overworld and then finish one of the 3 main storylines. The Faerie storyline that I'm doing is the second quickest, although all 3 of them have their own speedrun categories. But yeah, like an all storylines run on this version is like 3.5 hours or so, and then like an all quests run is like 6.5. So even though I'm beating the game, I'm not really playing that much of it. It's only about like, I consider this to be maybe like about a quarter of the game. Yeah, I was saying earlier that I'd like to try all 3 of the storylines, but I expect this one to remain my favorite, both because of the consistency with the route and having some of my favorite parts of the soundtrack in it. Yeah, I know the end game of the Jumi storyline has some very rough RNG too, just the way the route for the Jeweled City works. Of all the bosses in the game for this category, this is the one I still kind of feel the shakiest at. Mostly just because I They seem to be able to consistently stop the reds from exploding, even if I do have a good setup for a stun lock. Yeah, the two main normal boss themes in this game, I do definitely get a Mega Man X vibe from. I got that one at least. It is faster to kill the reds than to let them explode if you can. Alright, so this should be a pretty healthy time save here. This is the worst split in my PB, at least compared to gold. Not too familiar with the Jumi storyline run yet, but going to Tower of Lyris I know is decently early in the storyline. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this run is going to be the sub 150, but I definitely feel like I'm getting there. Still had some kind of silly mistakes in this run. But he's firing up another run as soon as this one's done. Hey, well, it's evening, sir. But, like, yeah, speaking of silly mistakes, another one. Yeah, that was a pretty clever incentive. Yeah, killing Dana is considerably faster, but does not exactly make you feel great afterwards. I believe you have to have Elzul with you for a pretty significant number of the Jumi quests. For Teardrop Crystal, the final one, you have a choice, but I know it's considerably faster to do Elazul than Pearl, because Pearl has a transformation animation at the start of every fight. It takes a while. Yeah, I'm glad they're making the anime about the Jumi storyline, because that's the most interesting one. It's just unfortunate that the fact that Jumi is the best lore and stuff in game also means it's got the most text mashing and story trigger stuff in the speedrun. Yeah, the story is just kind of fundamentally about kind of a forbidden romance between a priestess and a demon. And about an ancient dragon romping on a volcano. That's probably my favorite part. It's not a, like, legendary hero or king or something like that that put an end to leukemia. It was volcano-caused indigestion. I did a casual run on the remaster last week, and it felt to me like Dana didn't instantly do an ST at the start of the fight. I'm wondering if that's a change with the remaster or just an oddity that can happen in this version too. I'm used to her always going to the middle of the screen and STing right at the start of the fight. Done this sooner when she was at low health. Yeah, it's the other boss theme that has like a bit of a Mega Man X sound font style vibe. Both of the main boss themes in this game, I kind of prefer the original versions of rather than the remaster versions. Then you do not need to talk to whoever is in front of the door. Yep, out for volcano-caused indigestion. PSA of Faerie storyline. What I remember, probably the most obscure quest trigger related to the Jumi storyline, I thought was the last one where you have to go to the church in Domina in order to activate Teardrop Crystal, I think. One of the late game Jumi quests. We're just unleashing the forbidden ancient dragon on the world, but now we're gonna take a break to go loot the junkyard and sell some lamps. Hey, Wild Anaconda, thank you, thank you. The reason we're doing this, by the way, is because of what the land levels. So we want to put down leukemia at our earliest opportunity, along with putting it right next to our house in order to make the enemies there as weak as possible. Hey, Epistolic Paladin, doing pretty good. Which game were you hosting for? All the hosts that I heard for the runs I was watching, I thought sounded great. Okay, I remember watching Dragon Ball and FF6 Randomizer. So that fits in with what I said about how all the hosts that I heard I thought did great. I have my fingers, toes, and other assorted digits metaphorically crossed that we'll be able to have an in-person Limit Break event next May. There'll definitely be many more Questing for Glory online events too. We lay down Fried Egg City. I think it looks just like a sunny side up egg when it pops out of the ground. That's why I said hope. Still possibilities that the world will not be in a place where we can do so safely then, but I as heck hope that we are in 6 months. I want to see Gak though. I actually saw Gak on a license plate when I was driving last week too, and it gave me a chuckle. This wasn't like a vanity license plate or anything. It was just a normal license plate where the letters part of it was GAK. What? Okay. Today I learned that there is a exit to that screen right next to the weapon shop. Challenge I'm definitely running into trying to do the wiggle run tech is not having it cause me to bonk into corners and end up losing way more time than I saved. When I played the HD version, I did make a point of actually doing the doing this quest the way you're intended to, as far as translating the Dud Bear speak, just so that I could say I've done it once. The main thing I remember is the question of "Are you a Dud Bear?" came up at least 2 or 3 times in the conversations. It's where you have to say whatever the no equivalent is. I'm glad that they renamed this quest to Spirit's Light in the HD version too, to make it less confusing about why this quest has nothing to do with the Faerie storyline. Yeah, that is a good point. The Faerie storyline doesn't really have a ton to do with fairies too. It's more about forbidden romance between Erwin and Matilda. He's ready for some hype leukemia music and some hype skips. Well, skips meaning very, very minor clips through NPCs. And hopefully some slightly more optimized normal combat too. Capped off by an Erwin quick kill. I like that wide array of music-themed emotes RPGC. Behind the fungus. Really just do a sweep behind the fungus just to make sure. Alright, nice. Please. Hey, decently fast battle skip here. Mostly neutralized by the bad snack. It's another reason I expect Faerie storyline to remain my favorite speedrun for Legend of Mana 2, is that this is the only, well, the only single storyline run that has some kind of cool skips in it. Did I go the wrong way? Okay. Yep. There definitely go my, really any chance of saving time here. This is where we go outside. Wondering, something felt off there. It was, yeah, because no Zelva. This fight gets kind of my vote for one of the most just awkwardly spaced fights in the game, along with the fight in the Flame of Hope. It's a diagonal room where the enemies don't really spawn in kind of really convenient places to line up with. Alright, come on, Erwin, let's be a brobe. This fight can either go really nice, where he just jumps forward and I stun lock him, or he can do weird stuff and then break out and I lose like 2 minutes. I'm forgetting the former. Nice. Good kill. Still gonna lose time because of that oopsie with the routing, but at least Erwin didn't rob us of being able to PB at all. Alright, so this is definitely not sub 150 pace, but this is maybe like 151 pace or so at this point. I practiced that fight a fair bit and still don't really feel like I understand where his hitbox is, but at least I kind of I do know that if I just stay put and let him come to me, it usually works out in the end. It seems like just more often than not, he just jumps forward and lines up nicely for getting hit. I've seen it happen a few times where he goes like down and then left, which is more awkward. Oh yeah, and the fact that Draconis' battle arena is kind of a little weirder doesn't help, I'm sure, too. I am kind of curious why they decided to rename him Draconis instead of Tiamat, like in the Japanese version, because you think Square would not want to pass up an opportunity for a little Final Fantasy 1 throwback like that. Yeah, that is fair. I didn't know that Tiamat was female when I first played FF1, just because they don't explicitly say it in the game, but it's a lot more clear in the remakes that, yeah, that Tiamat is a female fiend. What category for FF4 would you like to get back into? The two categories that I'm interested in the most for FF4 are any percent no 64 door glitch on the US version and glitchless on the Japanese version. Whenever I get back to the game, it'll probably start with the US version. It's because the routing is a lot more stable for that, and it's just a matter of just getting a better run. For Japanese, there's a fair bit of routing stuff I want to do too. Hey, 2-bit, yep. Been having enough fun with this that I'd like to learn the other two categories too, since I've gotten a good time at Faerie. Yeah, the other big one for me was Azala in Chrono Trigger. I didn't know was female until playing the DS version, because it's not really ever explicitly said what gender Rosala is in the SNES translation, but it's made a lot more clear in the remakes that Rosala is a queen. Well, I'd like to get a sub 150. I guess after that, we'll see. I mean, I guess I'd just kind of like to get a run that feels like I didn't make any significant mistakes and the boss fights none of the boss fights or combat went like atrociously bad. I am the universe, yeah. Excuse me. I need to free myself of a spell named Matilda. Yeah, there's been some new strats for the final bosses in the No 64 run by Rivers McCown, who I'm expecting is probably going to take record once he actually starts grinding the game again. I know he's very busy with his day job right now, but whenever he actually has time to get back on the grind, I know he's been doing a lot of work on improving strats to try to make getting the sub 3 feasible. Whenever I get back to it too, I know I want to at least try to incorporate some of his new strats for the Fiends refight in the Giant of Babel. Probably CPU as well. Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, his day job is writing about sports. I'm only losing 7 seconds despite getting lost in leukemia and doing an extra fight. So that tells me I definitely saved some decent amounts of time from the combat. Top of getting the Irwin quick kill. No, the new strats are just a more just kind of a slightly more optimized version of the Rosa route. Like just better reflecting better understanding of the game's really janky ATB system and stuff like that. Like doing a little different equipment setup so that Cecil dies faster against the Fiends, starting the CPU fight with Cecil dead in order to manipulate the turn order a certain way. All of that adds up, I think, to saving like maybe 30-ish seconds or so. Or maybe not that much, maybe somewhere between 20 and 30 maybe, at the cost of it being somewhat more difficult to execute. Yeah, it's because it's right when the cactus runs in the door that we're done. Yeah, it's been cool to see all the stuff that F. Coughlin's been doing it with FF1 again. Hopefully he'll actually hit his 2-frame window and actually finish a run one of these days. Yeah, most of the quote-unquote new tech with FF4 No 64 isn't even really that new anymore. It's just kind of new in the sense that nobody really has it in their PV yet. People running vanilla FF4 right now. Kind of stunk. watching out for the, not quite the killer croquet mallet, because that's only in longer categories, but our golden croquet mallet to be able to one-shot these photos. Getting set up and ready for the end game. Time here thanks to a pretty bad first fight and some extra text. Getting when the cutscene actually ended, but still in PB pace. Be firing up another run as soon as this one's done too. I do not have an account on speedrun.com. I just prefer to do my own thing. Track all my runs on both on my Twitch bio, and then I also have the spreadsheet that's linked in my Twitch bio and in my Twitter. All my runs. Thanks for the raid, IceLion84. Stream is good. Just finishing up a run of Legend of Mana Faerie storyline right now, but as soon as this is done, we're going to be starting a new one. Thanks for the luck. Like how the final quest in the Japanese version is just called Mana, too, not Legend of Mana. Hey, Sheepdog, welcome in. This game only has one, like, full ending. You can almost I mean, there's 3 major storylines, one of which you have to complete in order to be able to access the final quest and beat the game, but you can kind of consider the storyline endings to be endings too, but as far as like an ending that actually gives you credits, there's only one, which is what we're about to get here. Where you purify the mana tree. Come on. Yeah, that I'm trying to kind of edge closer to that bird while I'm attacking, because it seems to just love to kind of peace out on me. No, you do have to finish the mana tree quest in order to end the game, no matter what. Getting here, you have a lot of options for, because again, there's 3 main storylines in the game, and you only actually have to, okay, I guess that's why you should counterattack the Chocobo. You only have to finish one of the main quests in order to get here. This particular category I did what's called the Faerie storyline, but then there's also the Dragon storyline and the Jumi storyline, which have their own runs. I'll be learning eventually. I've run one NES game so far, Crystallis, which is a really cool action RPG. But yeah, as of now, that's the only NES game I've done speedruns of. Oh, I'm glad to hear the love for Crystallis too, given that it's kind of obscure nowadays. Like it wasn't made by a particularly well-known publisher, at least at the time. Like SNK, the company that made it, is kind of better known for making fighting games than RPGs. In single storyline runs, you do not do crafting. In longer runs, like there's a run called All Storylines, where you do all 3 of the storylines before finishing the game. And that one, because of how many bosses, regular encounters you have to do, it is worth it to do some crafting. But for a single storyline run, the time investment you have to put into crafting a god tier weapon you don't get back, because you just don't have to fight enough stuff to make up that time, if that makes sense. Hey, T Murdoch. Yeah, I got it. I did a quick attempt at installing it before I had to start getting ready for streaming, and it does not look like it worked, so I have to put some more work into it, but I do have the tools for the T Edition MSU. I've never actually done anything with MSU before, so this is new to me in that regard too, but it's kind of fun. The hammer is mostly for this fight with the Mana Goddess. The hammer and the two-handed sword are the optimal weapons for beating the Mana Goddess before the Eclipse, where she does a pretty long special attack. Hey, Bandit Key. Thank you. We also start this run with the hammer as well, primarily, I believe, for the stat growth, because hammer is one of the weapons that gives you some good strength growth. Alright, 151. Well, it would have been a 150 without so many derps, but I will take it. Thanks for the GGs, everybody. We are not done here. We're gonna start up another run as soon as we watch the credits. Hey, Duel. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the soundtrack to this game is just one banger after another. I mean, to be honest, I do think the final boss could be better. Like, especially not only compared to other bosses in this game, but other mana games that came before it too. Because going from like the Mana Beast at the end of Secret of Mana and the final bosses of Trials of Mana to a final boss that's about the same size as you are, I feel is just kind of underwhelming. I feel like the Mana Goddess could have used a second form of some kind that just kind of has a much more kind of epic feeling to it as far as ending a game. I do kind of wonder if just the end game for Legend of Mana was rushed or something when the game was being developed. Because I mean, the central story involving the corruption of the mana tree is kind of not really the heart of the game, if you ask me. It's kind of more about the individual stories, lines, and side quests and stuff. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, the Lord of Jewels is kind of a more epic-looking final boss than the Mana Goddess. Yeah, because I mean, like, the major bosses in the Dragon storyline are all awesome-looking, too. 3 dragons, and then Draconis that you have to fight in the Dragon storyline are these ginormous, cool sprites. Yeah, so I've heard. I have not actually played Saga Frontier yet, although I've played the Game Boy Saga games. Yeah, I know Awazu was involved with Legend of Mana as well. I'll play the remaster of Saga Frontier eventually once it gets a sale on the PSN. Yeah, yeah, the golem system is even kind of weirder too. Like I just absolutely 100% forgot that system even exists until RPG Chick mentioned it earlier in the stream. Something I've never touched in any playthrough of this game. Hey, Monk and Drinky, welcome in. Yeah, agreed on both counts. There's a couple tracks that I like the original versions of better, like the 2 main boss themes, Pain the Universe and the Darkness Nova. I kind of like the original versions of better, along with the Leucemia theme, but most of the rest of the soundtrack I think sounds nicer in the remaster. Hopefully I'll get to run at Games Done Quick again. I'm not really like running much right now that I feel like is like particularly strong sells for GDQ. The only thing I've submitted the past couple times has been the Final Fantasy Legend, but I mean Saga games are pretty fringe. I mean, I've done a lot of GDQ runs, and with my Chrono Trigger run from SGDQ 19 is kind of my where I hang up my hat. That's a pretty good note to go out on. Yeah, Seventh Saga that's just the English name for Elnard, which is the Japanese name. I don't even know what Elnard means, if that's like the name of the world that the game takes place in or something like that. It's the name of the world? Okay. Yeah, I kind of like how the Japanese name for the Lufia series is Espolis, which I know is just, I think is just the name of the world, because it's Espolis Denki, which is Records of Espolis. It's Lufia 1 and 2. Yeah, those animations look so much better in the remaster too, because you can still tell in this game that they're kind of imposing an FMV on top of a pre-rendered background, because you see this little fuzz and stuff in a box around where Gaia, the Wisdom's mouth is whenever it's animated, and that's all smoothed out in the HD remaster. Because yeah, again, for anybody new, If you want to play this game nowadays, I recommend playing the HD remaster that came out. I think it was last like June or so on modern consoles and Steam. The main reason, well, I should say the two main reasons why I'm speed running the original version are that it's a lot more convenient for me to capture from a PS2 console than an HD console, and that also gives me the opportunity to use save states for practice. And I guess the third option we could say is AWU, because one of the rough boss fights in this category has an AWU that got censored out of the HD version for some silly reason. Not really, as I understand it. If you turn off encounters in the remaster, that makes it a pretty boring speedrun, because it's just kind of a walking simulator. Then run through dungeons, kill bosses. Like I haven't actually seen a no encounter speedrun in the remaster yet. If I ever switch to running on the remaster, I'm not planning on doing no encounters for that reason. I did while I was practicing last week, I did a casual run on my PS4 on the remaster, and I think I got like what would have been like a 146 or 147. We have a great way to capture HD stuff right now, so if I ever do want to run the remaster, I'll probably just run the PC version. Yeah, I imagine just the fact that no encounters exists, I'm sure, is great for routing stuff. It was certainly nice for casual play as far as backtracking and exploration, but I didn't really use it that much. Outside of a special hack of Chrono Trigger that removes most text boxes from the game that I used for practice and routing stuff for speedruns, no. Like, I've never played Crimson Echoes or any of the other kind of better-known Chrono Trigger hacks. I am playing the T Edition hack for Final Fantasy VI right now, though, and it's a lot of fun. Got up to Kefka at Nourish earlier today. That would be Radical Dreamers, is the Chrono game that's more of a visual novel than an RPG. Crimson Echoes is a ROM hack of Chrono Trigger that's kind of meant to be a sequel, an actual sequel. Yeah, I still need to play Radical Dreamers at some point too. That looks like it'd be kind of a fun game to stream a casual playthrough of too, just because it's very interactive. So this will be probably a 2:01 in game time. Be about 10 minutes behind real time.